This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Nation. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest pod of this feed in your ear holes, and that is 2004: A Film Odyssey. And I am your host, Miranda, and of course, I will be joined every episode by my co-host, Ben. Ben, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well, Miranda. Hello to you. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well at home. Yes, looking forward to starting the Odyssey.
Yes. It's going to be a fantastic adventure on this Odyssey here, I think. And I have to say, Ben wants me to tell everyone the story of how 2004: A Film Odyssey. Do you know how badly I keep wanting to say space? But
I'm doing that thing. I'm doing the Davy Bowie thing. So I want to say Odyssey a lot. I want to say Space Odyssey a lot. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I keep going to say space. 2004: A Film Odyssey. And Ben wants me to tell the story of how this happened because it's not that funny, but it's funny. Like, you had to be there, but it's funny. And I was telling Andy about it, and so I'm like, hey, Andy, I'm going to present this new show to the feed. And he's like, of course, absolutely. And he's like, one question. Why 2004? And why 2004 is for two reasons. One, first off, the list of films, if you go look it up, from 2004 is pretty iconic. There's a lot of these that are continuously still talked about to this day. And two, Ben and I are both huge fans of British Bake Off, which we have covered on the feed in the past when we had an excellent idea for a show, and we did it for a bit of time. We had Telly and Tea. We didn't realize how much work that it was a great concept. It was an excellent concept we had, but it's a lot of work. So we've covered different seasons of British Bake Off in the past, if you'd like to go listen to them. But he and I are both huge fans of the show, and this year there's a contestant on the show who was born in 2004. And Bake Off put a graphic in their Instagram stories of this guy's picture, and they were showing things that were really popular when he was born, and I screenshotted it and sent it to Ben. And first we were commiserating on like, oh my God, he was born in 2004. We could be like, we're both old enough for one of us to be his parents. And then we were like, moving on from that, by the way, 2004, because they had a photo of, what was it, Mean Girls and maybe Harry Potter?
Mean Girls, Harry Potter, I think it was Shrek as well. That was the other one.
And we were like, wait a second, that's some excellent movies in 2004, which Ben proceeds to pull the list up, and we're like, wait, this is really good, which led us to be like, oh, what if somebody did a podcast where they covered movies from 2004? And here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at all sorts. So I looked at the music. The music's not that great. It is if you're a fan of Usher. If you're a fan of Usher, 2004 is epic. But for everybody else, not so much. And there wasn't that many. There was a few good TV shows, so like Lost and House was there. But there probably wasn't. But when you looked at the list of films, I was like, oh my. If you're part of my friends, oh my fucking God, what is this list?
Yeah,
and there's enough podcasts out there, I think, on here as well. Do the 80s and the 90s, and let's give the pop culture forward a decade. There's some good stuff there.
We were still young enough in 2004 that our minds were being molded. We were just adults.
Yes. Rather than being the middle-aged adults we are now, we were still teenagers / young adults. So that's
right. Which, by the way, I was looking up things in 2004, and do you realize that Nickelodeon was 25 years old in 2004?
Well, there we go. There's an example, kids. There is an
Yeah,
example.
there's a huge example. But that was the year of the Super Bowl fiasco. That's talked about still. Jackson and Timberlake.
The wardrobe malfunction.
The malfunction. There was Sex and the City ended in 2004. It looks like Friends ended in 2004. So like a lot was happening in 2004. So I'm just saying. So the movies were Frasier ended in 2004. Jeez.
A lot of really good, like, from the 90s, a lot of stuff sort of ended.
Yeah, they're starting to kind of pivot into those 2000s. So we're here to celebrate them because they weren't horrible years. They really were not. I mean, there's a lot of 2004. I'm not going to lie. I don't exactly remember. This would have been freshman year of college, guys. So
I was going to say purely for medicinal purposes, I don't remember some of it either.
Well, I mean, technically, yeah, I started college in 2003, but in 2004 I was a freshman in college, and so like I don't remember everything. That's okay. But what I do remember is movies. I saw a lot of movies that year. So since we're kicking off in December, we figured we'd start with Polar Express. And just to give you guys a quick rundown of how we plan to do the show, we plan to do it monthly. We actually made a list of how we want to go for the entire rest of the year. So from December to December. And some episodes we're going to watch the movie. We'll tell you when we hit start. We'll do a commentary. If you're not new to the feed, then this is not new to you. This is something that we used to do prior to being able to live watch movies together. And some months, because the movie is very long and very in-depth, there may not be streaming easily for everyone. We're just going to have a really good discussion about our favorite things, favorite characters, fun facts, stuff like that. So for this month, we're kicking off December, of course, means we have to do Christmas movie, and we're going with The Polar Express. Today, we have chosen to actually click play. It's only a runtime of an hour and 39 minutes, and I think that includes all the credits. Yes. So it's probably not a full hour and 39 minutes. I'd say more an hour 30. So since it's a fairly short one, we've decided to hit play. Real quick, where is Polar Express streaming for everyone?
So here in the UK, I got it up on Sky Movies. So I'm
okay.
To Sky Movies.
Okay. So it looks like, based on the list, I see Hulu, HBO Max, Prime. Looks like you can rent it on Apple TV, which on Disney Plus, you have access to the Hulu shows or all the stuff from Hulu. And I didn't see it when I logged into Disney Plus, but I don't have a VPN turned on for Disney Plus, and I am getting access to what they allow me to watch here because Disney is being real weird with their subscriptions now. And if I try to turn the VPN on, they're like, we don't think that's you.
Whoa. The Disney lawyers are being a bit litigious about things.
Yeah.
What?
And they're like, you usually watch from Europe, ma'am. So I didn't see it logged in to Disney Plus while living in Europe. But I am American. But if you live in America, try Disney Plus.
You're American? What? I mean, this little conversation is blowing my mind.
By the way, quick side story before we hit play. So I as a Brit, I don't know if you know this or not, and I don't know if you've ever run across this because you've traveled Europe as well. So I teach English over here, and one of my new students has told me, she asked me when she first met me, where are you from? And I said America, and she goes, oh, and I just kind of looked at her, and she goes, I thought you were British, and I was like, okay. So I've had a lot of different people from at least this section of Europe tell me that they don't know, and this is not everyone, because the ones that do speak English very fluently, they're like, no, I hear the difference. But I have had several of them tell me that they don't know the difference in if I'm from America, Canada, or England. And they have said now we know you're not from Australia.
Well, at least that's something.
But I'm like, I didn't know that they couldn't hear the difference. I was like, there's an obvious difference, but.
Well, I can hear the difference.
Yes, I can hear. Yeah. And you guys don't want me to try my very bad, a little Cockney British. But, yeah, I thought you would find that funny. So it has nothing to do with this episode. But, yes, I've been told recently, like, they didn't know where I was from. And I was like, I don't understand that.
I think for those who listen to podcasts that we've done separately all together, Matt, and I think people come to expect the tangents. That's all.
Listen,
that's kind of our modus operandi at this stage.
Exactly. Well, anyone that is just my friend in my daily life, because I legitimately have ADHD, like full on paper certification of it and all. And so tangents are my life.
Excellent.
Daily.
That's what we want.
Daily.
That's what we want.
Good. Some people don't. So if you're not into tangents, I mean, I'd love for you to stay, but just be warned, there's a lot of them. So there's a lot of options if you would like to follow along. So we're both going to click play. Let me turn my volume down.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be in
Castle Rock Entertainment. Shangri-La Entertainment.
Man, that Castle Rock one almost blinds you, and it's not even a real lighthouse. Maybe it's just my bad eyesight.
It was the first thing when it was 2004, and I think I even said it to you. I said, "Of course, there's a good Christmas movie. This list is just the gift that keeps on giving for us."
The problem is,
it's a good Christmas movie.
There is this one, but we just had a discussion about are there more, and we're not sure yet. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, we might have to go for things that were on TV in 2004.
Although I did look up, and there's a very cheesy, like Hallmarky one, and I may force you to watch that.
Oh, okay. They're on one of our channels over here, like every day. The Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, we have them too. It's like they start in like they start in like the summer sometimes though.
Now I know obviously you obviously have Thanksgiving and stuff. Do you start Christmas before Thanksgiving? Or are you like a December starter of Christmas? You know, because some of the people here, like you read them on like their Facebook pages, some of the Facebook mums, and they're like, I know I put the deck, where Halloween's gone now, all the decorations are up. I'm like, it's November the 2nd.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So, I am a huge fan of Halloween, so I get the most out of it. Like, I actually will start sometimes I behave and I wait till September 1st, but I'm one of those that I'm like already trying to decorate for Halloween in like August, and people are like, could you please?
Oh, Miranda.
Listen, well, there's some of my house decor that's here every day that is also part of my Halloween decor. But I usually wait till like the beginning of September, and then because some of my Halloween decor is just fall, and then some of it is pure Halloween. And so I fully decorate for Halloween. And the other thing is, if you're going to spend all that time decorating, you want to enjoy it, right? So I usually have it for all of September and all of October. And then I used to be one of those people, especially when we lived in the States, where I would take down certain pieces and keep up a bunch of very fall things until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But because you guys don't, well, I mean, because some countries do Thanksgiving. It's not like America's the only place that does Thanksgiving, but ours happens then. Ours is the one that happens then in November. So I used to be, we did not decorate until usually the day, that weekend, that Black Friday, small Saturday is when we would decorate. But since moving to Europe, and literally you start getting blasted with Christmas, like right after Halloween, which Halloween is still a newer concept in some of the European countries. So you start, you get blasted with it. Like November 1, they're like, melting out old Mariah. So I have since
the way the work Christmas, the work, obviously we have the radio on at work, and that's already like,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, it doesn't go full Christmas until like the week before, but it's like every fourth song is a Christmas song. You're like, oh.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have started where some years I decorate the tree the week prior to Thanksgiving, and this year, because Jarrett was traveling for work and stuff, and the tree is something we always do together, we actually didn't do it until last weekend. So this time we did wait until the day after Thanksgiving, or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. But typically, sometimes our tree is up by Thanksgiving. Now that we live in Europe, because it's like all around us, the holiday markets are already, the Christmas market's already open, the city's already putting the lights up, and you're like, well, I want my tree up too. Especially if it takes several hours. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So we have our young man here, by the way.
The imaginatively titled Hero Boy.
Mm-hmm. Which I do have to ask, did you read the Polar Express book as a child?
I did not. I was aware. I'm aware of the book, but I've never actually read it.
Okay. See, it was very big, at least in the school system I was a part of. I remember it coming out every year, and they even did a Polar Express party and things like that. But I always was like, so the fact that they took this movie and made it out of basically a picture book, which is a beautiful picture book, but I was always intrigued with how this was going to work because, again, it's a picture book.
The fact that this child is like perhaps 11 or 12 and already seems to have grey hair is worrying me already.
You're not wrong.
That's just the kind of thing I notice.
No, you're not wrong. He's laying in bed right now looking at the ceiling because we're only a couple of minutes in. I think you may be like 10 seconds ahead of me or so, but his hair has this sheen to it where you're right. You're like, I know it's supposed to be like where the light is hitting it, but it does. It has a gray look to it. I was really bummed, though, that they just named him Hero Boy when other people get actual names.
Oh, here we go.
Click, click, click. And before all this, he picked up that paper that said Santa's on strike, or, North Pole's on strike. Now, while we're waiting for the big event to happen, I have to ask you, how did you feel about the CGI faces? Because there was I don't have much complaint about them, but I remember there being a major complaint. Like, a lot of people didn't like them.
I don't mind them because it's the way, obviously now more so, but it was the way cinema's going and kids' films are going. It's just, with the rise of Pixar, it's it now. It's all CGI.
Right.
So I've got no issue with it at all. But I get it from like, if you, like you say, so you've read the book, so I get like you want that oldie feel, like it's a comfort blanket book, or that's how you perceive it. So I get that, but I've got no problem with it.
I didn't either. I just remember at the time people were like, oh my, and even now, which I will say, when at a certain part in the movie, there are some faces that they just make really funny faces. In general, their emotions or not their emotions, the way they emote is just really funny. So here Hero Boy he's out in the snow. The train has arrived. Mysterious train, which I can't remember. That was just the street in front of his house before. Now there's a giant train. Yeah. Okay.
He's been told by the strange man to get on the train like it's perfectly normal.
Mm-hmm. And our strange man is Tom Hanks, who actually did the facial expressions and voices for so much in this movie. And it looks just like him. They did. I think they did an excellent job.
He is tremendous. He is tremendous in this.
It's very weird, though, how much Tom Hanks looks like my dad in this movie. With the mustache. For anyone that wants to know, that kind of looks like my dad. Yeah.
It's one of those jobs, conductor of a train. Like, it's one of those romanticized jobs, and then you kind of see it like today, like the reality of it. You're like, nah, not so much.
Listen, you and I both take a lot of trains, and have you ever noticed how frazzled some of those people look?
Oh yeah.
Like, some of them look like they just want to crawl in a sinkhole and never come out of it, and others
Oh yeah.
love their job. Others are like, depending on what train you're on, either they're coming at you speaking English, like hello, 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 good day, good day, good day, and then other times they're like, ticket, please, and you're like, wow. There is no in between. They're either like they love to be here, or they're like, why did I choose this job?
And then do you ever see them as well when you've got the ticket on the phone, and they're having to stand there and wait for the person with the ticket on the phone, and you can just see the face, like the eyes rolling, and you're like, not this again.
I always do my ticket on my phone, and what drives me crazy is because I have my phone out and I'm ready, because I know, after you've been on the train for just a few minutes, they're going to come check your ticket, right? So I'm ready with my phone, and I've got it open, my QR code's ready to go, and the person next to me is digging through their pocketbook for their paper ticket, and I'm like, oh, really?
And we've got here a load of other children who have been picked up.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, how he kind of hangs out on the back of the train for a second, like at the door with the door open. I want to do that just once. Is it dangerous? Absolutely.
Oh, that child with the glasses looks a bit like me at 11 or 12. That's scary.
The one with the glasses?
Yes.
How did I guess?
Well,
I don't remember his name.
It's not going to be the girl with the pigtails. So.
Well, no. There's a few other kids though that like they're not as like you see their faces throughout the movie, but they're not. So that kid's name is just Know It All.
Yeah, I was a know-all. Yeah, I was a know.
It's okay. I'm sure some people would say I was too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was one of those. Always had, just kept my hand up, like, it's like, oh no, not again. Oh, he's here. He's here.
I will say for CGI, I do love how like they actually blink. They do actual facial expressions.
And you've got to remember this is quite early CGI as well.
It's true.
Got the golden ticket. Roald Dahl will not be suing for copyright.
No. I did also like when they're like first traveling out of the city and they're all looking at because he's still questioning his belief, and they pass in the store with the huge display, and the Santa is fake. It has like the wheel in the back, like moving it. I did really like that, the window display there. See? It's like those people that constantly lose their tickets. I'm just saying. I hate when I have to get a paper ticket for whatever reason. Ugh, I hate it.
No, I can't even remember the last time I got a paper ticket.
I had to actually a few weeks ago. Like, it just, no matter what I did, it just kept locking up every time I tried to buy the ticket in an app. So I had to go to like the machine and do the tap, 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 tap and take the paper ticket. And I was like, and then I'm so afraid I'm going to lose it that the whole time I basically death grip it in my hand.
Well, there's so many things like now that we do. Like, what we used to, what?
Yeah. Do they, because ours, if you have a paper ticket, there is like a punch press thing that they do. Do they do that to your guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, why is that? What? Oh, he's not allowed. Has he missed it? Oh.
No, I don't think he missed it. I think he said no. Like, I think he was too scared. If I remember, yeah.
No.
Because he's out there and the conductor talks to him, and then he doesn't.
Uh-oh. See, we don't like when that happens. Everybody thinks, everybody thinks we'll rip the cord. It'll be hilarious, and then no, it's not.
You can get fined for that.
Yes, definitely.
For anyone that doesn't know, if you come over here and you want to ride a train, don't think, I'm just going to do it to see what happens. Don't do it.
See, look, Tom Hanks is not very happy. Nobody wants to piss Tom Hanks off. Like he's just said, tonight is Christmas Eve. We haven't got time for these shenanigans.
Who in the blazes? I love that. It's like when your parents are trying so hard not to curse.
Yes. Oh, I do that. I try that with my nephew and it doesn't work. Now he's like 10. He's at that age now where he knows curse words, and I'm like,
he's like, I play Fortnite, Uncle Ben. Whatever.
Yeah. Quite funny though. My mum still treats him like a 5-year-old. It's like a 4 or 5-year-old. It's like, Mum.
I think that's a grandma thing.
He's going to be in high school in 6 months.
Yeah. Does she also do the thing where the things that you and your sister used to get in trouble for, he wouldn't dare? Like, he would never get in trouble for?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mother, too. She does that with not just my child, but my nieces and nephews. They don't get in trouble for those things. But, I mean, we would have.
So I think at this point, Miranda, so we said this list of films is fantastic, and I'm going to sort of just read a few out.
Okay.
Just to say, like, well, not some of these we will be doing, some we won't, but I literally just made a list up, and so we've got in 2004, you've got Win a Date with Ted Hamilton, 51st Date, Shaun of the Dead, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Euro Trip, a Dawn of a Dead remake, Hellboy, Walking Tall, the whole 10 yards, sorry, Man on Fire, Mean Girl, and Van Helsing. I mean, that was the first few.
It's crazy. We got the hot chocolate dance going on, by the way.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. This is awesome.
Hot chocolate. We got it.
Are
you love good hot chocolate?
Chocolates? Are you a lover of hot chocolates?
I do love a good one, but there is sometimes not all hot chocolates are created equal. I'll just put it that way.
Yes, that's fair.
I had one at Vienna Christmas market that I was like, this is basically water. Oh, you'll get a kick out of this. So I'm in this like Christmas market group, and then the people that are in it are from all over the world. But somebody came in the other day. I'll let you guess what country they're from. But they were like, so if I travel to the markets, I see they serve hot chocolate. Is there lactose free, or is it made with water? And I was like, oh. Listen, I understand people have like legitimate lactose problems. I truly get that. My child is one of them. But I was like, drink something else then. There's so many more options at the Christmas markets. I'm not making fun of your rumbly tumbly, but I'm just telling you, you're not going to want to take a chance and hope that they make it with water, because you're going to have to find a washcloset real quick. And if you ain't got change to pay for it, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
I went to the Christmas market in Manchester a couple of weeks ago.
How was it?
What a time! What an event!
I went to Vienna a few weeks ago. It was my first Vienna market, and I loved it.
Mm.
I was feeling tipsy off the Glühwein. I had to switch to Kinder Punch.
Oh. Uh-oh. That animation is fantastic in the ticket.
I know. I like how it does the gleam, like it legitimately shines.
Yes. Oh, there it goes off.
I I do have, like, how did they get from that car to that car if there's no, like, I have some logistical questions here as someone that, like, that's not how that works, but okay.
I have questions to ask and I have things to raise.
Yes. Excuse me, Mr. Director. Have you ever been on a train?
Excuse me, Mrs. Zemeckis. That is not how this would work.
Oh. That's like when we tried to do our initial, like, 24 watch, and you and I were both like, we love this show so much, but that's not how that works. So there was a goof early on.
That seemed, by the way, the 24 one seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, it was a good idea. I think our show is still a fantastic concept, and we should revisit it someday. But we were like, we didn't realize how much work this would be. And, like, I think our first episode was near, like, 2.5 hours long or something. And we were like, okay, we've got to revisit this.
It was that thing of, because, like, you wanted to talk sort of general themes, and you had to be then you wanted to remember specific stuff, and it's like, no, then you had to go back and, like, properly pay attention.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you right now, I don't want this ticket back after everything it's gone through. I mean, we've watched it get carried away. Mama Bird fed it to the baby. Baby just yucked it back up. It went into a snowball. Now it's on the front of the train. Now it's under the train. Like, which I stuck to the dude under the train? What the heck is that?
Now it's back.
Because it's magic. Or is it?
Oh.
Nope. And we're watching it slowly go away again.
Well, the thing I don't get is how come nobody can see it at the top there. I get why the kid might not be able to see it, but surely Tom Hanks could see it.
Well, his back's turned for most of that. They're non-transferable. Do you know what he sounds like? Please, no one take this offensively. It's non-transferable. What in the Deutschbahn? Oh.
Oh. Where are they?
We're going to throw her off the train. No, I'm pretty sure they're not.
Could you imagine it? Could you imagine if it turned from this, like, could you imagine if it turned from this wholesome kids film into, like, some sort of kids slash?
Do we want to talk about some of the things that Disney's done?
Well, yeah, now you're saying it like that. Yeah.
Do you know, by the way, I learned this actually just yesterday, that Bambi is listed as one of the most scary horror movies. I learned this from a British game show.
Oh yeah, just think about it. Just think, what happens to that poor kid? That kid's scarred for life.
Listen, if you guys didn't have to watch Watership Down when you were a kid, I won't talk about being scarred for life.
I'm not being funny. You'd put that in your nice safe pocket, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be waving it around like that in the wind and the snow.
Mm-hmm.
That's just asking for trouble.
I mean, I guess that's the part of, his name is Hero Boy, so I guess that's the part of, like, wanting to always do, I don't know, right thing? I don't know. Like, he's got to save the day.
The parents have caught with a pretty on-the-nose name there, haven't they?
Yeah. And then the girl he's trying to save there, she's technically listed on IMDb as Hero Girl.
Mm.
The little sister is the only one that has an actual name. I'm looking. So we have a voice for Smokey. So that's an actual name. And then we have Sarah, Sister Sarah. But that's the only one. Well, unless you consider Scrooge and Scrooge and Santa Claus are specific names. So those are the full out of all of the characters in this movie. Those are the only 4 that have a specific name. Smokey, Scrooge, Santa.
We seem to have Tom Hardy here, getting ready for Peaky Blinders. God bless him, singing a bit of Good King Wenceslas.
Which is also Tom Hanks. So, by the way, Tom Hanks does the voices in this. It says Hero Boy, Father, Conductor, Hobo, Scrooge, and Santa Claus.
Yeah. They're getting the money's worth from him.
For sure.
You're gonna have him. If you're gonna have him, you got to go play multiple characters.
Mm-hmm. Which again, if you look at him, also looks like kind of younger Tom Hanks.
I was gonna say it's a bit big Tom Hanks, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It very much is. Which I used to be obsessed with that movie, and then I watched it again a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I see the problems in this now. Like, it's a very good movie, but, like, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, again, if you think about it, she wants to. What do you mean she wants to shag a 13-year-old? What?
I mean, in her defense, she doesn't know that, but we know that. You're kind of wondering, like, what's wrong with Hobo Guy, right? But even the kids looking at him like, is he off his rocker? Is this why my parents told me to walk to the other side of the street?
Has he got issues?
But I'm sitting here listening to Hero Boy, right? And I'm just baffled by the fact that that's supposed to be Tom Hanks. I'm always thoroughly amazed by people. I always wanted to do voiceover work. I still honestly would love to do voiceover work. But when you hear these people that can just change their voice, it's so impressive.
I have one impression, and it's not even that good.
I feel like everybody has one.
I can do Jeremy Clarkson, and it's not great, but
I love Jeremy Clarkson.
I can do the voice and start talking like this.
You do kind of sound like, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like his cadence, and he does this like, yeah.
That's right. So I can get the cadence, and I can get the actual sort of accent. No.
I used to do a fake British accent, which then I was like, oh, I'm probably offending a lot of people. I don't need to do that anymore. So I don't do it. I have my neighbor, she constantly tries to get me to say bottle of water like I'm British, and then she cracks up, and so I do it to amuse her. But my mom always did this thing. So I have this like weird voice thing I can do, but I can't do it for very long. It legitimately starts hurting my throat. I'm sorry, just always do like this. And my brothers and I used to annoy the shit out of her by doing that. We'd have full conversations, but it hurts after a while.
It's like when we do the Place to Be Nation play. I do one voice, which is I don't know if you know the guy, but he's an American commentator by the name of Tony Schiavone. And the only reason I do him is because I can say one of his phrases that he shouts out, and it's the. So I don't even try to do like an American voice when I'm doing my scene. I'm just Because basically, he talks to like Southern drawl. I'm like, no, I can't do
I can. Oh, here we go. Hobo guy comes back, and what is? Yeah.
Oh, he's hanging on for dear life.
Yep. Grab on. Speaking of our Place to Be play, that should be popping up pretty soonish. I think this episode should probably come out before that comes out, but keep a listen for that, boys and girls, because there are a lot of voices and a lot of work that goes into this every year, and it's always pretty excellent. I don't get to do any funny voices this year. I'm kind of sad because last year I was pretty proud of my dying young boy I pulled off. I am pretty proud of that. I'm not even gonna lie. I still, Steve Riddle is still like, that was the greatest, and I'm like, thank you very much. This year I'm a character that I don't really. I've got to figure out some sort of catchphrase or something for her. So
those guys, like JT and Jenny, who record them all, like they have the patience of a saint. God bless them.
Yeah. This starts pretty early in the evening and goes for hours for the recording. And then some people record on separate days, and then and you'd never know. By the way, for like the last 3 years straight, just to give you guys a behind the scenes, for the past 3 years straight, I have recorded my scenes totally separate with no one to I have to pause and pretend the person says their line and then do mine. That is how good they are at editing this. Because, I just told on myself. But, I have been recording completely separate from everyone else for, 3 years now.
I think you're allowed to peel the curtain back a bit.
Yeah, every now and then. Well, I mean, I think that's the magic of trying to get people to listen to this play, right? Listen to this radio play. Is that, hey, just so you know, this is how amazing it was. For 3 years, I basically recorded away from everybody else. We just went quite on the adventure on the back of that train. I do not want to be floating through a coal cart, by the way.
No. That doesn't seem like fun.
Which I will say, I would like to ride on a train that is powered by coal. And, they do them for fun every now and then. I've never ridden on one of those. I would like to just once.
Oh, I remember. I was on a train journey back here, literally from Manchester. So but it was a day when the Flying Scotsman, which is a very famous train,
yeah.
But massive old train from earlier, and they were doing a special route from Scotland all the way down to London, and the amount of I'm going to use the word train spotters who were out that day to look at this train.
I can imagine.
Because I saw it because the main station of Manchester, it was there, just waiting to go out again, and it's just such a beautiful train, and you're like, yeah, these poor guys who have to look at these standard trains every day. You're like, nope, you've got that one coming, guys.
Yeah, it was really cool. Back this summer when my mom came to visit, we happened to go to the biggest city near us is Brno. And we went for Caden's birthday, and it happened to be the day that they were celebrating, I think it was 100 years of the Česká dráhy, which is the Czech train. And they had all the old ones out. They even had one, though, that scared the crap out of everybody because, they'd go past and they'd literally do the full-on, whistle, old school.
Yep.
They even had all the old trams out. It was really cool.
Meanwhile, the train has had to stop.
I love that these two, what did we guess? We're saying they're anywhere between 10 and 12 are trying to figure out how to operate the train. Let's just pull the lever, pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong movie.
There's that thing of the two kids are sort of, they've got better brains than the three adults here.
Oh, and then the guys on the front always crack me up.
The CGI on the animals, that is not great, I'll be honest, but...
Not the worst, though. It's not the worst.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have to. You still got the point across.
By the way, that is a ton of reindeer, so it's probably good that they stopped the train when they did.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go through all that. But
no. No. I don't even want to hit one small deer, which we almost did the other day. It's, because we live out in like farm country, and they all there's like 6 of them that they were like, yeah, we're going to try to beat your car. What's funny is there's one on the side of the road from where they were coming from, just standing there. And I would have, in my head, imagined him to have his arms crossed, looking at them going, you guys are idiots. He waited. He was like, I'm not trying to die today.
I have a friend of mine who we see every year, because he's a teacher, so the only time of year we can see him is in the school holiday, so August. And it's like he lives in a proper, say, like a farm village. It's like, I'm not particularly a city slicker here, but like you just go over there, and it's just like a totally different way. Like, it's like a proper one church, one pub, one village.
So we have a couple of pubs, but one is at the football club. So like technically nobody really goes to it except for the people that are part of the football club. And then we have another small pub that they do have some like snacky foods, but it's basically like frozen freezers, like pizza and stuff. And we have a restaurant. We do have one restaurant. We have a couple of little to get people to understand, Jerry refers to them as like corner stores, or like in America, he like bodega type grocery stores. Yeah. We have a couple of those. Yeah. And we have a lot of farms. I mean, we have a train station, a church, but of course, yes, is Catholic. It's very small here, though. Like our village is like 1900, I think.
Can we just get on to the fact that the train tracks appear to have turned into like your theme park,
right? They've been repairing ours here, and I'd never seen them lay train tracks before, and I got to see that recently, and I don't know why, but I turned into like a 10-year-old kid and was like, oh, this is so cool.
That's not going to taste well.
I love these two. Well, they're not conductors. They would be engineers, I guess. And listen, boys and girls, when you think engineer, you're thinking real smart. And I'm just going to say, no. They are funny.
Uh-oh.
I love how Tom Hanks is like, he's such a sweet character, but he is not calming them down. He's like, we are accelerating exponentially. And I'm like, that would
it's all your fault.
Yes. Let's now go on a Tower of Terror level drop on the front of a train. I would be vomiting. I do love a good roller coaster, but I would be vomiting.
I mean, that is a good idea, using the pin. I will say, using the pin out your hair. That's very practical, kids.
It actually is. You don't know how many times the pin from my hair has worked for other things. Although we wouldn't be in this position if the poor guy hadn't swallowed the actual pin.
Yes. Uh-oh, there's a massive crack. Uh-oh. Here we go. You have to start again, guys.
My worst nightmare, being on a train that gets derailed.
Yeah, is this the technical bit where we go, that train would not be moving on ice?
Well, I mean, it probably would. It probably would be going everywhere.
Like this one.
But worse, it would probably already be on its side.
Yeah.
And honestly, the percentage of trains that derails is like so minuscule, but still, like it's a reasonable fear.
I can say, it's 43. I could say this. I've never been on a train. I've never been on a train that's derailed, and I've never really been on one that's like had to stop because something. You know what I mean?
I have.
I've had to stop before for other things, but never for a derailment. Thank God.
So we've never stopped for a derail, but I've stopped for like other mechanical issues. You know my horror story of the one back from Budapest this summer. Oh, that was
Yes.
That was murder. And I never got refunded for my ticket on that.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, well, sometimes the first class card just isn't attached. And I was like, then don't sell first class tickets.
Oh, he's gonna lose a ticket again.
Ah!
They got it between them. Oh.
Ah! It's like jackknife. Oh.
Oh no, we found the track again. No, I think we're okay, Miranda. We're safe. We've got the track again.
Okay.
It's just very cold.
Oh, yeah, it had like frost on the front of the train a minute ago, like on the undercarriage of the train.
Tom Hanks is not impressed that they found the tickets.
Poor Tom Hanks. He has to direct the engineers, watch these kids fight for a ticket.
Oh, he's a very busy man.
He is. Which, listen, I will say, I've heard how some people talk to conductors, and it's like how people talk to waitresses in America.
Oh,
it's bad.
yeah.
It's bad sometimes. I will say that.
Well, as you know, I work in retail, and one of the things you have to have the patience of the saint.
Yes, you do.
And I say this to every one of our new staff, the biggest fallacy in retail is the customer is always right, because they ain't.
But you know what? I don't think all of Europe goes by that. I'm just going to be honest, because I do kind of like the direct, no.
I don't know if I'm quite watching with. I don't think I'm quite watching with a direct no, but I definitely. There's no filter with me. Like, I will say something. You're being stupid. I don't call you stupid to your face, but.
I know that's really hard because you sometimes want to look at customers and be like, "Are you stupid?" And you can't do that. You can't do that.
No. So I'm looking here. I'm looking here at Mr. Hanks. Speaking of him,
yeah,
2004, he had a busy old year. So it was the Polar Express, Lady Killers, and the Terminal in 2004. And then
really,
and then he took 2 years off. Yes.
Well, I think he took time off because isn't that when Rita got sick? Because wasn't Rita Hanks sick for a while? I think.
That sounds right.
I remember they both got really sick during the COVID. Maybe I'm misremembering something.
The article I got up just talks about the films rather than his personal life.
Oh, the marionette train car.
Yeah, so there's nothing about that in there. But yeah, so he did. It looks like he did like three. Although maybe it was the case that he did 3 films in 2004. In 2005, he was filming Da Vinci Code. So
yeah,
something like that.
So the train car looks like broken and lost toys here.
It looks like here, he releases 1 film in 2006, one film in 2007, and then takes 2008 off as well. So your explanation could be correct.
Or does he just do that where every so often he takes a couple years to fully?
I suppose when you're as good as him and you earn the money he does,
yeah,
you can probably afford to take a couple of years off.
Honestly, he could probably have stopped doing movies a long time ago and still been financially beyond stable more than we would ever imagine to be.
I mean, I'm going to say the film, looking at his filmography, it is ridiculous.
It is.
It's absolutely, it's obscene, actually.
This Scrooge marionette is quite... I mean, I could see where that would scare the pants off of somebody. So, like, I don't have a fear of like marionettes or clowns or anything. My youngest brother has a clown fear.
Oh, my nephew's fear of clowns is
No,
awful.
really? Yeah.
So, like, I collect, Funko Pops. I collect them.
Yeah, we do too.
I've got a load on my main dresser, however you want to phrase it, and he will literally take off. So I've got like a load. I've got a few Joker ones. I've got a Pennywise one. He will actually pick them off and take them away, so he doesn't have to look at them.
That's
when he
kind of
comes
like
round.
The Elf on the Shelf thing, which is the big Christmas thing. Do you guys
Oh,
really
yeah.
do it in the UK? Yeah.
Oh, it has become a big thing here. Yeah.
Okay. So it became a thing when Caden was still small enough that we could have done this. And he's like, nope, absolutely not. His teacher had one in the classroom, like the first year I ever heard of them. And his teacher had one, and he's like, it watches me no matter where I go. It's like one of those, it's like one of those paintings where when you look at it, you feel like it's constantly watching you. So he's terrified of it. And now that he's like basically an adult, he's like, no, you don't let the Fae in your house. He's like, no.
This is a lovely song.
It is beautiful. I will say we don't get a lot of songs in this movie. Now we do have a constant flow of like background music happening typically, yeah. But the songs we do have in this movie, they're all very good.
Yeah. So this is Tinashe, isn't it? So like even I've heard of it, so I know she's quite a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Let's just pull up the soundtrack. So Polar Express soundtrack. And actually, several of the songs that are on the soundtrack, it's like traditional Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
White Christmas, Bing Crosby, Perry Como's It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Kate Smith, Silver Bells. Josh Groban does Believe. When Christmas Comes to Town.
I've noticed with Christmas songs, I mean, whether it's just because I work in retail, so I hear a lot of them. Mm-hmm. There is no in between with Christmas songs. They are either brilliant / amazing or shit. There's no average ones.
Well,
you're at either end of that scale.
That's true. Since we're talking about Christmas songs, do you have a favorite?
Oh, Fairy Tale in New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my favorite. We did like years ago. I did like about 3-4 years. 4 years ago I think. Did Make Him Out Rushmore with Andy, Logan, and Sean Kidd, and none of them three had ever heard it. I was like, what?
So I will say, everyone makes fun of me.
They didn't like it very much, but it was I was like, how have you never heard this?
Let me double check because I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Give me the title one more time.
Fairy Tale in New York.
Fairy Tale in New York.
Fairy Tale of New York.
Okay. I'm going to look it up in a minute. Because, well, I'm pretty sure I know what that is, but I'm gonna watch that in a minute. So everyone makes fun of me. So I have a list, I'm sure you do, of like Christmas songs that I like. I love all of these Christmas songs. But the one that will get me like hyped for Christmas, everyone makes fun of me. I know you're about to be like, Miranda. But I don't give a crap. I will be 40 in a few months, and I am fully embracing. I no longer care who makes fun of me. And that is Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh, no. It's a good one, that. No,
Thank you.
No,
most people fight me, and I'm like, fight me. Since I was very little, I loved this song.
Because I'm an 80s baby, so like, Do They Know It's Christmas? The pop song, Do They Know It's Christmas? Last Christmas. Oh,
I do love Last Christmas. I hate getting whammed super early, but I do love it.
Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I am all there for all of them.
I do love some Bublé. Don't get me wrong. I love Mr. Bublé. And another one that my husband makes fun of me for, we used to listen to Kenny G.
Yes.
I love me some Kenny G. My husband is like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, listen, we've been married for almost 20 years. I don't know why you're asking that just now. Like,
he's the dude with the saxophone, right?
And he used to do like the major Christmas albums. And I loved them. He's got some nice hair.
He's got the. I was gonna say he's got the Michael Bolton hair, hasn't he?
He had like the long curly hair. Or he used to. And I don't really know if he does anything anymore, to be honest with you. Yeah, he has like curly hair. And he always kept it really long, which I'm not a huge fan of long hair on dudes. It's not just my personal preference, but his hair is nice hair, and I'm jealous of it. Just one of my husband's favorite Christmas songs, and it kills me. He now has our kid in on it, and we have to listen to it every Christmas. Hang on, let me get this right. Oh crap! It's Run DMC. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that.
Oh yeah, I know the one you mean. And Christmas Rapping, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas in Hollis is my husband's favorite Christmas song.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Rapping's the waitresses, yes.
Yes. Which again, he is like me and you. He's an '80s baby because you and he are the same age. Christmas, he's so. I mean, he loves him some Christmas in Hollis. My son also finds the DMX reindeer, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He finds it hysterical. He thinks it is the funniest thing in the world, and he makes us listen to it.
I think modern Christmas songs. I love and I can't remember the titles of it, but I love the Kelly Clarkson song.
Yes.
That's when we say modern, I put that in quotations because that's going to be like 2008, 2009. But,
yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I also don't know the.
And then the Coldplay one, which I think is called Christmas Lights. I think that's. But they're one of them bands. Some people got a lot of bad things, but I unashamedly. They're one of the. They're like a big band. They're good. Mm-hmm. Chris Martin's a dick. Don't get me wrong, Chris Martin's a dick, but
yeah, everyone says that. This train is just like not meant to go right. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. The health and safety on this train is ridiculous.
Right.
By the way, I wanted to say before, you were talking about, you said one of my husbands. I was like, I just wanted to just keep that
You already knew, didn't you? You were like,
one of Miranda's husbands. I mean, I'm sure she's only got one.
Oh. No, listen, folks. If anything ever happens, I am never marrying again. I have friends that talk about dating in this world, and it will never.
I mean, this is some good balancing here from these kids.
So I'm looking at a list made by Cosmopolitan of 65 modern Christmas songs.
Yes.
And I'm like, what do we consider modern? Because this one's from 93. And while it's good, because TLC doesn't do anything wrong. Sleigh Ride by TLC from 1993. Do we consider that modern?
I would genuinely say modern is anything from 2000 onwards.
That's what I would think too. Again, fantastic.
In the context of Christmas songs.
Yeah, I'm with you. But because everything else on this list is current day, like that Sabrina Carpenter, Ed Sheeran, Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson. I think that's the one.
That's the one I was thinking. That was the one I was thinking about.
Christmas Lights by Coldplay. Yeah, I mean, that's on here. Cozy Little Christmas by Katy Perry. That one is catchy as crap. Mm. But then, my favorite song is on here, Wonderful Christmas Time. That is not modern. It's from 1979. Now, Wonderful Christmas Time by Harry Styles, which is a cover, that is modern. I will give you that.
Isn't there what's the album coming out? Christmas album this year? Is it Kelly Clarkson and Cher? It's like is that the duet everybody was waiting for?
Right. Well, there's a Kelly Clarkson does do another Christmas song with somebody. She has one with Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Grande. Yeah.
You better get it right. That is soon to be future Oscar winner Ariana Grande.
Well, if I remember correctly, she did an interview where she came out and said, "I don't really correct people, but actually our last name is Grande."
Yes.
But no one ever flipped it and started calling her Grande. They still say Ariana Grande. So I'm like, which one are we supposed to be saying? I do kind of love the visual of like there's no elves doing any jobs.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Everything should be done.
Eve. In theory, you're correct. Which Kate and I had a very deep, like hour-long conversation the other day on like how Santa actually works. And he's like, well, there's countries where people just don't believe, right? And so he's not going to stop for people that don't believe because you have to believe. And he's like, and then time zones. And then he goes, and in theory, they should have everything done way before Christmas. Like, this was a deep conversation. I should have recorded it.
Well, if I'm Santa, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously the elves might have to work a bit, but I'd be taking the 23rd off because you're going to be a busy man on the 24th.
Yes, I think the 23rd you should be like sleeping and prepping, right? And like not very much because you're about to stuff your face with all these cookies. And then, like, obviously the day after Christmas, which is, like, second day of Christmas. Like, second day of Christmas is for Santa to be like, and I'm done. And I'm done.
Santa's traveling on the 24th and the early hours of Christmas Day. Right. So everything else.
I kind of wish when Kaden was growing up, I had one of these naughty.
Meanwhile, the film Polar Express is about to turn into Tron.
Oh, you know what? I guess this would be one of the few people. This was not listed on IMDb, but he would be one of the few kids that actually get a name because they just gave him a name and said this would be. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Which is the one of the few times, like, I've always struggled. Is that also CGI or is that real video?
I would imagine that's real video.
That's what I've always thought. And somebody's like, no, it's CGI. And I'm like, but it looks real. Like, am I wrong?
There is no way out.
Oh, another really catchy song for Christmas?
What?
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC. Fight me.
Ah.
Listen, I was born in 85, so in 1998, NSYNC had my heart.
I will admit when I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine in the summer, like, bye. As soon as Bye came on, I was like,
yes. So if anybody was wondering whether I was Backstreet or NSYNC, while I do appreciate a good Backstreet Boys song, I was NSYNC. I was an NSYNC girl. Saw them twice live, and one time Lance Bass touched my hand, and I legitimately cried.
I have never watched. I did.
I looked at my cousin and I was like, I'm never washing my hand again. And then I realized, like 3 hours later, logistically, that does not work. Listen, guys, I was 15, okay? Okay, enough said.
I've never had a famous person touch me. That sounds wrong. Look, I'm going to take that back.
Like a few Comic-Cons and stuff where you pose with people, you take photos with them. So I have had, like recently I met Q from Star Trek.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
we took a picture together. Very nice man, by the way. He put his hand on the small of my back to take a picture together. Very nice man. And then I actually worked at a really big salon and day spa in Nashville when I was in college. And we used to have a lot of very famous people come in. But there, you have to be extremely professional. And I'll just tell you, there are some people that I have met that are complete douche canoes. Complete.
Oh, yes.
And you're doing nothing but being a professional. Like, I was always super professional because I wanted to keep my job. I made very good money at this place for a very young in college person. So, like, this was very important for me to keep this job. And I would never be like, oh, I loved your work, or like, oh, it's great. I would always be like, how are you today, sir? Or how are you today, ma'am? They don't come in there for you to fawn over them. They want to relax. They're coming to a day spa. Like, they're not. But yes, there are some that I was like, wow, that is the biggest asshole I've ever met in my life.
I always remember when I was about 2002, so I was quite young, and I was on the till, and I was one of those people when I think everyone went on the till when it was busy, so it was like very much autopilot. It was very much autopilot, not even like having a conversation with somebody. So I'm serving this man and this woman, and the guys, and they both got foreign accents, and I'm paying no attention to them at all. And it was only after the fact that one of the other lads went, Ben, do you know who you just served? I was like, no. And obviously my football team who I support here in the UK is Stoke City, and it turned out it was one of our new defenders who we'd signed, and he was brilliant. And he's from Belarus, and I had absolutely Scooby-Doo because I didn't even properly look at him. And they were like, Ben, Sergei Steinbeck was his name, and he was like, Ben, that's Sergei. I was like, no.
Yeah, but you know what? He to this day appreciates people. Sometimes they truly appreciate when you just act like they're another person. Like they really do. So how do you feel about this? This slide that all these presents went down. I have a lot. Logistically, I got some questions. Like, how does stuff not get damaged? I'm just.
Well, you know what though? This is where your Amazon driver or your get that inspiration from when they took it.
Are they disgruntled retired? Are Amazon drivers disgruntled retired elves?
I think
that's how they blend in with the general public as their Amazon drivers.
We put it in your safe space by chucking it over the fence. That's good. Thanks, guys.
Where was it they left a package for you once? It was like behind Blue Bin, and you were like, I don't know what they're
Blue Bin.
I was like, it was like for your birthday or something. And I was like,
yes.
Blue Bin, it says that it was delivered, and you're like, I don't have a package. I'll check with my neighbor. And you're like, my neighbor doesn't have a package. And I was like, it says, hang on, more details. Behind Blue Bin, and you're like, what the bloody
So to give everybody some background, I have no garden in literally my front door just leads onto a pavement. It's not like I've got no driveway.
My front door is like garden. Right there on the roadway. Yeah.
So it's like what? Like they didn't even put it. I could understand it if they put it in the bin. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you're like, not behind the bin, where anybody could see it.
Yes, like it's like that guy. There's a video of a driver picking up somebody's mat and laying the box under it, and I was like, you can still see there's a box. Oh my goodness. So the kids are like having the time of their life now. They're in the bag of presents floating across the sky. I love how he's like, this one says to Billy, it's mine. And I'm like, do you know how many Billies there are in America?
I was going to say, like, it's not like exactly an uncommon name.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Billies across the world, period.
Yes, it's quite a popular name.
I just realized who Glass's kid is.
Go on.
It's Sheldon Cooper as a kid. I mean, look, he's got the space shirt on. Sheldon doesn't wear glasses, but this tree is pretty fantastical, by the way.
I think, to be fair, once they gave the glasses to Leonard, and they had to think of some other geek tropes.
Well, none of the other kids wear glasses. You have to represent every kid, so. I was a kid wearing glasses, I'm still wearing them, but.
So I've been a glass like since I was like 8 or 9.
I was a little sooner. I think it was like first grade. They finally realized, oh, she can't see.
And I'm at that point now. Like, I'm 43, and I'm like, somebody says, "Oh, do you want to get like laser suit?" No.
Well, I actually looked into it, and because I'm nearsighted and farsighted, and I have astigmatism, which I know people are going to be like, "That's not possible." According to my eye doctor, it is. Okay. They told me I would still need reading glasses.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe if I get a little older, and they're like, "No, this will help you keep your vision longer," like then fine. Okay, but right now, also, in the 2000s, speaking of 2000s, I watched the Jessica Simpson reality show.
Yes.
And she goes in to get LASIK, and they showed the entire procedure, and that terrified the crap out of me. And so now I'm like, nope. I don't deal with pain in my eyeballs very well, just to be fair, like honest.
She was the one who was married to Nick Lachey, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
These kids, I mean, how much destruction are we going to cause? We're now knocking which in their defense, it's not really their fault. They're kind of stowaways in the bag, but I'm just saying, like, do you know what the elf rappel team reminds me of?
Go on.
Do you remember the elves that come to rescue Santa from, in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, where they come to rescue him from jail? And the one kid is like tinsel, not just for decoration, which, side note, I had the biggest crush on that one elf.
I'm not saying we're getting deep. We're doing a proper deep dive into your crushes from this.
We are, right? Well, they're all merging. But that's what this reminded me of when they came rappelling down. I was like, oh, they're part of the elf recon team. Because they have to have their own, like, security team. I mean, come on. You got a lot to protect up there in the North Pole, really.
So yeah, that brings us on. There'll be a lot of this in this podcast, like about 2000. We'll just be reminiscing about like things from 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was it. I mean, that was the time. Like I say, there's some bits I don't remember or I don't want to remember.
Exactly. I shouldn't remember.
Just went out all once.
These elves laugh so maniacally as they toss these children off this giant bag of presents.
Like you say, some of these kids' films.
I'm sorry. When he goes, "It's in good hands," and he puts his hands out, I just don't want to believe him.
I'm happy that none of the other kids have decided to wear red, though, so we can tell where they are.
I think that was pretty strategic and a great call from, the artist of this film to make sure that no one is wearing, because none of the kids are wearing red. I'm looking around, like, there's pink, there's yellow, there's blue, there's different shades of blue. But you're right, none of the children are in anything red. Here come our reindeer.
Speaking of great Christmas songs, here is Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah.
Of course, the definitive version by Bruce Springsteen, but I think we can all agree on that.
Let's see. This one, I thought I still had the soundtrack pulled up. I was going to see technically who does this one. So they played the Sinatra.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It is.
You can't argue with that. You can't argue with it.
So did your family have a traditional Christmas movie that you would watch like over and over every year?
I Our one, we did not every. I suppose I suppose Santa Claus the movie that was quite a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wonderful Life with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Now I suppose the ones I do now is sort of I've got to the I am firmly in the Die Hard Christmas movie camp.
Same.
So yeah,
Same.
so that's a tradition of mine on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
I have to Die Hard.
I know there are going to be people that disagree, and they're wrong, but my husband is one. He is not of the same wheelhouse I am, and he's convinced our child that it's not a Christmas movie, and I said, we're going to watch it, and I will show you why it is a Christmas movie.
Well, I always say the argument I have is quite a simple one, is because people say, "Well, it's just because it just takes place on Christmas Eve." I said, "No, it's about a man who wants to be with his wife and his kids at Christmas,
and he's fighting for his wife to be with him for Christmas."
And how he gets there, that's the whole point.
Exactly. Now, yes, it also involves Christmas, and a lot of Christmas music is in the soundtrack. There's a lot of reasons why. And somebody's like, well, in that vein, then that means 2 and 3 and all the others are Christmas movies. I'm like, no, not correct.
No.
Because not every movie in a franchise is necessarily a Christmas movie. TV shows do it all the time, where the TV show is not a Christmas show, but they have a Christmas episode. I'm just saying. Also, I attribute the movie to my dad. He and I would watch this together all the time. It was one of his favorite movies, and Christmas was when he deemed that we should watch it. So here's the singular bell.
So here's one for you, because again, going back to what we were saying earlier on about so there was a song. So on that same episode of Mount Rushmore, it was your favorite Christmas song and your favorite Christmas movie. So obviously, the boys didn't know what my favorite Christmas song was, and they all picked A Christmas Story, and at that point had never heard of it.
That's actually my husband's favorite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought no, I've seen it since, and I think it's all right, but I genuinely hadn't got a clue what this film was at that point. I was like, what are you three going on about?
Well, I will say, in their defense, I think it's a nostalgia thing, right? So, they grew up watching it repetitively at Christmas, and we actually have a channel in America that literally for 24 hours, they play this movie back to back to back to back to back at Christmas. Why? I don't know. I just don't know why.
Oh, imagine if you don't just, then you have to go back to the beginning to watch the first 5 minutes. Oh, no. Oh, meanwhile, Hero Boy's getting his own little...
he's admitting, he's like, I believe. And who do we have? He just looks so ethereal. And I love this deep tone that Tom Hanks has when he does Santa's voice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Santa has spent some good money there on that sleigh.
I like how everyone gets quiet. The elves are quiet. Everyone is like... Oh, and then we got our pick-me boy over here.
Well, now we're doing, I love a good CGI tracking shot.
Mm-hmm. I do see what some people are saying right here. Some of the faces do look a little distorted when he's speaking to the children.
But again, you have to remember, it's 2004.
It is. And I think it still holds up. I think it's still great. No, it's
a bit like saying, going back to what we just talked about, it's a bit like saying, oh, It's a Wonderful Life, it'd be so much better in colour.
Right. I don't know about you, but when I see black and white photos, especially really old or like the sepia tone ones turned into color, they're kind of creepy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's kind of creepy. I'm into creepy, but I don't like it. It's like not supposed to be that way.
The reindeer are ready to go. Oh,
They've been ready since they brought them out. I mean, the elves were trying to like slow them down and be like, chill, bro.
they were born ready. Get
Like
out of
how
the
all
way,
the elves carry him up there like he couldn't have walked there himself.
with all the elves around like this, though, it does feel a bit like this is what like watching watching a ceremony in North Korea or Russia must be like.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like there's just so many people. Like I do like how he whispers his wish just like most kids do when they go sit in on Santa's lap and like tell him what they want.
Somebody at work said to me the other day, "You'd make a good Santa." I was like, "No, I would not."
Bad Santa.
Like having to have all that patience listening to kids talk. Like, no.
So I have patience and then I also don't. But I don't think I could do it.
But it's the same. It's the same reason people said to people like, "Do you think I'd be a good teacher?" Because like one-on-one with kids, I'm fine. But I'm like a group of 30 of them. No.
I used to do a lot of substitute teaching, and sometimes I would be like, some classes I would get put in, I would be like, is this day going to be over anytime soon? And then others, I was like, wow, the day is gone? But
I was fine. I was going to say, is he actually going to go? No, yes.
these reindeer are like, let's do it! Listen, I need one of these watches, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Early, on time, late. That's exactly what I need. Very straightforward. By the way, do the elves like also like when they have vacation just like study acrobatics? Like what the heck?
I think so.
Apparently, it's part of the like you just grow up and you're acrobatic. Like it's in their genes, I guess.
I suppose if you think about it, like they probably have about 6. They probably have about 6, 7 months off, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, probably not. I mean, logistically, if you're talking about them making toys, which
that is true. Actually, yes. No, yeah. Now you say it like that, yeah.
Now, do they all maybe take like the month of January off? It's like no one does any work in January. Or what they select? There's probably a select few that are already doing things in the background, but like, I feel like
I think you give them a month or 2 off, and then like kick back in. There, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to this comedian today. My grandmother sent it to me, and she was talking about at Christmas, how modern toys, sometimes there's like that orange sticker or the yellow sticker that says like it was inspected, right?
Yes.
And she said that her husband convinced her children that there is a quality control elf in the North Pole, and his name is Clarence. And when you see this orange sticker that says Clarence, that means that you got the good toy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is the funniest thing I have ever heard.
Oh.
The magic, the visual magic is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Some of the graphics.
Although, have you noticed that almost every elf has the same face, kind of like the Oompa Loompas? You're like, wait a second.
It's like the CGI background artist. Wait, just said. minutes.
Let's just do different variations of the same face over and over again. Here we go. Steven Tyler. They go straight into party mode.
Oh, yeah. I suppose,
They're like, Santa's
that,
gone. We don't got anything to do. There's nothing on our end.
I suppose their work's, like I said before, their work's done.
You know, you see in some other Christmas movies where Santa's taking off and they're still like monitoring it all from behind and stuff. And I like in this one that they're like, nope, break.
and you know, Santa's probably laid all this on for them as well. But now they've got to go back home.
I'd be like, can we please finish the? Well, I am assuming that maybe the concert is finished, but I would be like, can we stay for this concert, please? That's happening back here with the elves. They're just partying, which they're probably about to hit the eggnog. So conductor's like, we got to get these children out of here.
We're about to do All I Want for Christmas. Come on.
I sent you the link for this list from Cosmopolitan of the 65 Christmas songs. Because some of them are intriguing, to say the least.
Look.
Some of them I've never heard, so I really want to like go through and like actually listen to them. Like there's some of these new ones that because I just I kind of I'm stuck in my music that I love, so there's some of these new ones I've never heard.
Oh, there we go. What was that?
I do like how they managed to take the book and turn it into something.
Let's have a look. Have they done it in any particular order? I suppose they have a kind of order.
No, I don't think there's any like particular like order. I think it's just a list of 65.
Yeah, All I Want for Christmas, that's good. Never heard of that one, the Christina Aguilera one.
Like I've never heard this the Poothie song. I mean, I know who he is. I've listened to lots of his music, but I've never heard his December 25th song. It just says it's new for 2024. So, okay, that is modern. That meets the qualifications of modern.
Let's have a look. Phineas, that's isn't that Billie Eilish's brother? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, that's Billie Eilish's brother.
So Lindsay Buckingham, that's that's Fleetwood Mac.
I do love Fleetwood Mac.
Everybody does. Little Mix, they were quite a big pop band over here.
Yeah, I do know who they are actually.
Okay, Christmas Tree by Lady Gaga.
But I've not heard that version, so now I'm going to look it up.
But then they've got Blue Christmas by Elvis. That's not modern.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these are not modern. Like, I'll give you, okay, Pentatonics, that's Christmas to me. Modern, absolutely. Night Before Christmas, Sam Smith, modern. But, like, some of these, I'm like, that's not modern. That's from the 70s.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Everybody by Slade. That's practically a Christmas standard over here. And actually, if you listen to it, it's got some of the greatest lyrics in the world, that song.
Well, I do plan on going through this list because, like I said, there's some I've never heard. I do also like Happy Christmas or Happy Xmas War is Over by John Lennon.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think their version of modern Christmas songs, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose like with Christmas songs, like you have traditional hymns and all that kind of thing. So I think like anything from like 1960 onwards, they're classic as modern.
Yeah. So I do like this list. I'm not going to argue with them that it is a good list of Christmas songs. However, it does not meet the qualification of the headline of this article, which is 65 modern Christmas songs. I'm not.
Or More Sleep by Leona Lewis. Yeah, that gets played.
I do like that they're all on this train, and some of these kids are just flat passed out. Like,
Well, you would. What you would eat with all that's been going on?
I mean, well, they sugared the shit out of them, and then they went on this wild ride, and then they got to meet Santa and all these crazy elves. I mean, and who knows what time it is? Because wasn't it midnight when they picked up Hero Boy?
Yeah. He's not going to be able to do his Christmas dinner tomorrow. He's going to be passed out.
Listen, I would be. It's midnight for you now. You're probably like, ugh.
We're all right. We're all right. I'm going to be up at 4:30. But like, as I explained off air, when we were off air, I've had that much sleep today. Like,
yeah,
4 hours or so, or whatever I get. That's going to be fine.
Okay, so Good Housekeeping also has a list of 25 best modern and new Christmas songs for your 2024 playlist.
You could get yourself a nice little playlist.
Yeah, I think I might create myself one. I do love creating a good playlist. Here, I'm gonna send you that. I sent you that one too. You could check through it. Blink 182, Not Another Christmas Song. I'm here for it. I am a true elder emo.
Now, speaking of good CGI, I feel like we need to admire the snow work.
Oh, absolutely. Which you guys had snow already this year, right?
Yeah, we've had snow.
It was gone it was like there's her horrific storm, and you told me it was like, I checked on you, and you're like, it's gone already. I was like, oh. We're supposed to be getting it.
Yeah, I was saying not. Yeah, I was saying not to stay.
We technically have had snow already, but it was gone in like a day and a half. But it's calling for starting at like 4. It's supposed to be like the weather guys out at the base were telling Jerry, they're like, big snow is coming. We're like, okay, whatever.
Now, as we're near the end of the film here, speaking of logistics, I feel we need to. Do you reckon they have, much like Santa does? Do you reckon they have various times for the Polar Express? You know, depending on where in the world you are.
So kind of like it jumps time basically. Like it has no perception of time.
Like, obviously, this is the American leg of the journey, but there's got to be one for Europe and Australasia and.
So, like, he appears where he needs to. So, like, for example, right now, for you and I, it's night. But for our American friends, it is evening, but it's not late in the evening.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm with you. I think it's kind of like that whole belief, interdimensional kind of thing. Because in my opinion, it's just me and my weirdness my interest into very weird things. But I think the North Pole is interdimensional.
Ah.
And that's why people don't find it. It's like where Bigfoot goes. He's an interdimensional being. Mm-hmm.
Now he's got to creep back up the house, back up the stairs, and like hope that his mum and dad haven't realised he's been away for an hour and a half.
Which you're right. Like they just showed the snow coming through, or like not coming through the window, but like the window is there, right? The CGI window, and the way that the snow is falling softly and perfectly, just in the background in the windows, is
beautiful,
fantastic. Beautiful. Although I do wonder, you guys not close your curtains? Like what's going on?
Yeah, it's just like every burglar see what you've got going on.
Yeah. Here's this gorgeous Christmas tree and these gifts under it, but, you know. It showed the clock, but it's at an angle where I really can't see what time it is when Sarah comes in asking him to wake up. I do like, though, that he goes to get his robe off the bed and he rips it and there's a hole, but he's like, wait a second, I already had a hole in the... Which there was a goof at the beginning of the movie I forgot to mention. So apparently at the very beginning of the movie, when he goes to, when his parents are putting him in the bed, or like saying goodnight or whatever, his his robe is not on the end of the bed, but then like a few minutes later it's on the end of the bed, and he like rips it when he tries to get to the Polar Express.
Oh.
Also, have you noticed a lot of the gifts that they received look a lot like the gifts that he saw in that car?
Yeah.
Here's the most magical gift of all, though.
Oh. And a note as well.
So the director for this movie, Robert Zemeckis, he actually is also the director that worked with Tom on Forrest Gump and Castaway.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they worked together a load.
Mm-hmm. Listen, if you work together well, I feel like that's kind of like how Adam Sandler repeatedly uses the same people, like his friends. I say, why not? Like, if you know you work well together, then you can put out a good product, then continue.
Well, you say good products.
Well, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not great with the Sandler team. It's like, some people like it, some people don't. But I'm saying, like, if you mesh well, if it's working well together, and you like what you're putting out, then continue to do it.
Yeah, when we back in the day when we were doing popcorn chicken salad, the like we were trying to pick a Halloween movie, and the lads were like, "I've got it. I know Ben's exact idea of Halloween Hell." And I was like, "It was their pick," and they were like, "What?"
Was it Hubie?
No, it was Little Nicky.
Little Nicky. Okay. Which I do like Little Nicky. I like the concept here with the bell of like, you don't hear if you don't believe, and how when he originally he didn't hear anything, and now the parents are like, oh, that's a shame, it doesn't work.
But he did hear.
Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful film that is.
It actually is a very good film. So the actual runtime appears to be 131. So I was correct. There's like 8 minutes of, which it does go out. We do end it with Believe by Josh Groban, which is a fantastic song. The man can like lay down a note for sure.
Right. I think here, because I'm watching it on Sky, I think what they do here is they've included like all the adverts after until the next movie starts. Like you said, there's like a full 10 minutes left. There's never 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah. It's about 8 based on, I'm watching it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 8. Because it when they like screen cut, like when it ended there on the bell, it was like 131, and it says total run time for me is 139:56. So yeah. But I say, as we run through the credits here, we'll kind of just finish up. Is there anything else about Christmas, like traditions or anything that you really want to tell anybody? Or
so we obviously Christmas dinner here is a very big deal. So you guys have Thanksgiving. I don't think you have quite the same like thing, you know.
It depends on the it kind of depends on the family. So some families, Christmas is like also just as big, and it's just as big of a meal and gifts and things. But like some of our families do it on Christmas Eve. Some people do it on Christmas Day. So, but no, Christmas can be a really big deal as well.
Then like, there's the same for everybody else. But like, once you've had your food, you're basically you're always in a food and drink coma after Christmas, isn't it? And like,
in America, I feel like you start being in a food coma at Thanksgiving, and you just continue to be one until after the first of the year. I legitimately feel like it's like a month and a half of food coma.
Like my mum's like always saying like, oh, I'm getting like buying this board game, or we'll play this game, or we'll do this. I'm like, Mum, literally all I want to do is just sit on the sofa, like pretend I'm pregnant, and
well, you have a food baby, so I mean. I love how in a lot of ways it doesn't matter where you're from. Christmas is basically the same, right? It's a lot of food. It's a lot of family time. Yeah. That's kind of comforting.
Well, that's the thing. Like Christmas, I would say Christmas is for your family, and then New Year's is for your friends. That's always the way I differentiate it.
Well, you guys have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, correct?
Yes.
And see, and here in Czech, they do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and second day of Christmas.
Yeah.
And in America, it's just Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Why? I don't know. I really don't.
But Boxing Day is a big deal. It's more sport over here, so like sport. So that's what I always associate. I associate Christmas and December more with sports. So sports I love. So football, American football. Obviously building up to the end of this, to the playoffs and the American football. The darts World Championships about to start. So all the big events you're looking forward to are around sport, pretty much.
Well, I mean, kind of with Thanksgiving too, we have, American football actually, there's always one big game that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite know what the NFL are doing this year with these Christmas Day games, but that's their choice.
Yeah. But I do find it interesting where even though there's like different amounts of Christmas, I've also learned that like some places like Christmas Eve is more important or Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
The night of Christmas Day is more important. So I find that like completely fascinating.
Yeah, we've got one of our girls who works with us, and she said, oh, her father is Polish, and she said so Christmas Eve's there.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas Day, he'll probably work Christmas Day.
In America, a lot of people still work at least half a day, depending on what you do.
I think he works in a warehouse, and she said so he has Christmas Eve off, but Christmas Day he's quite happy to work.
Oh wow! I worked for all the years that I did retail. Now, when I did office work, we usually didn't work Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Yes.
I was a recruiter as my last position for many years, and we didn't work on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. But day after Christmas, we were right back at work unless it was the weekend. So, but now when I worked retail, I worked all day Christmas Eve usually.
Oh yeah, so Christmas Eve's massive, and I work Boxing Day. Everyone's like, you shouldn't be working.
Well, Boxing Day is a big shopping holiday for you guys, is it not?
Oh, huge.
I thought so. That's the same argument in America though, when people are like, you shouldn't be working on Black Friday. Well, why are you here shopping then?
Well, I said that, going back to being blunt, I have said that to people, if people like me weren't coming in here on Boxing Day, I wouldn't have to wait, would I? And then,
yeah, you're not trying to be mean, but, if you guys just didn't, you're here, you're complaining that I'm having to work, but you're here, so. Well.
And for some reason, they don't want to carry on the conversation. I mean, I don't know why.
I don't either. You're you're starting this conversation. We on Christmas Day, we kind of made the rule many years ago when Jerry and I created our own family with that Christmas Day is for us. We sometimes don't even change out of pajamas. I mean, later in the evening, obviously, we'll shower and put on different pajamas, but for the most part, we're in pajamas until we decide to shower and put on different ones. And we don't go anywhere. Last year we did the family that own our home actually were like, would you like to stop by? And so we went to their house for an hour, but typically we don't go anywhere. And I thought that was a really big deal for them to invite us on Christmas Day, because I know how important Christmas Day is here. But when we were back home with our family, we usually did Christmas Eve with his family. And then we would do Christmas Day with my family when we lived close enough to them that we could do that, or when we would drive up and stay with somebody. We usually did Christmas Day with mine and Christmas Eve with his.
Yeah, so. I remember back in the day, when when my mum and dad had split up, and I was with somebody, trying to juggle it, where you try and please three lots of people.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good fun. That's good.
Imagine trying to do that when you you go out on your own and you have a kid. And so my parents are divorced. Jerry's parents are not, but my parents are divorced. So we're like, okay, we have to see your family, and then we have to see my mom, and then we have to see my dad. And I was like, why do we have to do this? We're the one with. Finally, one year I was like, we're the one with the kid.
I remember one year we went down to I had an ex, and she lived in her family from Wales, and having to explain to both my mum and my dad that we're not going to be here for Christmas Day, because for once we're going down to Wales, for tracing.
Yeah. Yeah, we finally decided one year, we're like, wait, we have the leverage. We have the kids. But Is there anywhere, of course we have the Place to Be Facebook group that we would like everyone to come join. That's where really most all of us are. We have different conversations, wrestling, books, movies, we have tournaments, we do a little bit of everything over there. Do you have social media where you're comfortable with people reaching out?
Yeah, I'm on the Blue Sky now. I've gone over there. I've had enough of Elon and the Russian bots. So
I don't even use the X, Twitter, whatever. I keep calling it Twitter. I have one, and it makes my head hurt half the time. I don't. That's been for years though. Like it's always.
I can't remember the full address, but if you search for Ben L 1981, you will find me.
Okay. I am currently on Instagram and TikTok, where I'm like comfortable with people reaching out to me. My Facebook is for family and close friends. I apologize in advance, but no. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Mom's a Nerd. Please join the Facebook page. Check out the Place to Be Nation website. We will explain. It'll give you. We have articles. We share all of our family of feeds, so you can get something for everybody. There literally is something for everyone here, amongst the pop feed, the wrestling feed, and so on and so forth. So from Ben and I, thank you so much for joining us on our inaugural journey of our Space Odyssey adventure of 2004 here. We wish you a wonderful, magical, happy holidays, and we'll see you next month at the start of 2025.